Hey folks, how you doing? Brad Miller with FlyBass.com and FlyBass.biz. FlyBass.com is an informational website, and FlyBass.biz is an online fly shop. We hope that you visit both. Say today I've got some exciting news for you. I want to tell you a little bit about my favorite way to catch bass, and that's with poppers. And I think most of you out there would agree that that's probably the most fun way to catch just about any kind of fish. Pulling a popper along the water and having that fish come out and blast it is one of the greatest things about fly fishing there is. Now, historically, I have used a number of different types of poppers, and we start with the old, good old deer hair poppers. They're fun to tie if you like to spin deer hair. And the problem with the deer hair popper is that when they get wet, they have a tendency to sink, and you wind up with a glorified heavy muddler minnow. There's some nice wood ones. You know, the old ones used to be all wood, different shapes and sizes with different cup faces on them and all that kind of stuff. These balsa wood ones used to be the standby. People still use them today. There's different shapes and sizes, kind of a saltwater, more like a pencil type popper. All different types of shapes and sizes you can use, and they all work. But I found a particular type of a popper that works better than any other and is easy to tie, and it is probably as durable as anything else, and that is the foam popper, made out of closed cell foam. And some guys used to take like a flip-flop and cut it up, or now you can get sheets of this foam and you cut it up. The problem is that you've got to get somebody that's got a jig that'll cut these things to your specification. There's a particular type of a body style with these that seems to work out very well, kind of a wedge-shaped body that flares out and has about a maybe a 5 to 10 degree slant on it to provide just the right action. The beauty of this stuff is it's really light and it's easy to use. The issue that we've had in the past is that we've had to go ahead and take, once we've got somebody to cut these for us, which is difficult to do, which is the reason I'm going to tell you about my new product here, is that you have to slice them. You take a mat knife or something else and you slice that, and you hope you don't cut yourself and wind up in the ER. But let's just say that you are successful in cutting them. You've got to get the slot in there just exactly right, or they're going to be off kilter and they'll move from side to side and they won't run true. What we've done is contracted with a company to build our own version of a blockhead popper, but with a technology in it that makes for a much more exact, true running popper every time. And how we did that was we got away from the slot idea, the slice idea, and began using a hole right through the middle of the popper, similar to some of the other types of poppers that you can get on FlyBass.biz, and I'll talk about that another time. But for a fly that's easy to tie, all you do is get yourself a hook. Now, I like to use the Mustad King Shank on here, and I've got a couple of videos that that you can find on YouTube here, and they go into a lot of depth on exactly how to tie this specific blockhead popper with the hole going through the middle of it. And you wind up putting some thread on here, put some super glue on here, and then run that right through, and you get a perfect popper every time that'll run true and be very durable. Okay, and I got guys asking me all the time, where can I get these poppers that I see you using in your videos? And up until now, I couldn't tell them, because this type of a popper, this exact shape, is not available anywhere on the internet from any other source other than FlyBass.biz. And this is the best pattern I've ever used for catching bass of all sizes as well as other fish. Any type of a fish that will take a popper on the surface periodically will hit this fly. I've got these flies in 4 different colors, and I chose these colors based upon the fact that they are the best colors that I've ever used by far. White, black, yellow, and green. And once you get them all tied up and make them look pretty, you might even throw some eyes on there and that kind of stuff. I've got kind of a what I call a roadkill popper. which is a squirrel tail. You can use gray squirrel, fox squirrel, or some blacks around. But that makes a heck of a nice tail on these things. And and then I put a little hackle on the front of them. You can just see how nice those things look. But every single flag comes out nice and true, and tracks perfectly, and pushes water very well. And then let's face it, that's the key. You got to push that water. You got to get the attention of those fish. But between these four colors, I guarantee you switch around a little bit on a day-to-day basis. In most cases, one of those colors is going to work. I've experimented with a lot of colors, and I found that these four are the best. I've got exact instructions on how to tie these roadkill poppers with this fantastic popper body that you can get now at FlyBass.biz. I want you to go to the store right now, take a look at these, and try some. Once you try some, you'll be back for more and more, because they are the best popper I've ever used for catching bass on top. So Brad Miller with FlyBass.biz. See you later.